What's up, party people? Thought I'd make a video of my progress towards retirement. So, my goal is to be able to retire by the year 2034. Uh, it's right here. The goal name is retire by 40. I do not want to work, or I want the opportunity to do whatever the hell I want by the time I'm 40. So I started to save and invest about a year ago and am doing pretty good. Although I guess a lot of people are due to the pandemic. But this month, or this week I should say, I so far have been pretty well ahead of my goal. So, brief rundown of how this Excel sheet is laid out. My target goal per week is $134.62, and the average of all the weeks that I've recorded so far is 288.48. So I am well ahead. I am actually double my target. So how did I get this number, right? I did 25%. I want to make 25% returns this year, which just so happens to be $134 for me this year per week. Now, to go on into this week, right? There's I have 3 different types of accounts: 401k through my employer, Vanguard for retirement, and Robinhood for the memes. Total right now, I have $38,000, and I do have a couple other accounts, but they don't have quite as much money. One of them right now is about $2,000 worth of assets in it. So I don't really put it in here, but with it, I actually have already completed my yearly goal of reaching $40,000 in total, which is good, but I want to keep going, right? So this week, I'm going to go over my biggest winners and not so good stocks. I made a lot of money off Apple. As you can see this week, oh man, I did not remember it being that much. It went up by quite a bit. I actually sold a bit. I only have 2 shares now. But holy shit, right? Apple blew up. I don't think I bought that many shares. I might have sold and bought some in between, because I don't think anyone was expecting Apple to do this well. And it was because of 2 things from what I've seen. Their earnings, which happened around here, and then the rest was probably because they announced a stock split. So it's a 4-to-1 stock split, which basically means that when the stock splits, Apple will not be worth, for 1 share of Apple will not be worth of 456. It'll be 113, 14, something like that. And people anticipate that since it's splitting, that psychologically people will see the lower price and buy more, right? So they're getting in now before the stock splits, and the psychological effect takes into play, I guess. I don't know how valid that is, but I'm definitely going to buy more shares of Apple later on. I just don't necessarily know if it has enough traction right now with this much gain to sustain it till the actual stock split happens. I don't know. The other, oh man, I actually didn't make a lot of money off Apple now that I think of it. My biggest gain, Amazon. So I don't have any shares in this account anymore. I did make a decent amount of money off Amazon this week. And actually, let me see. Yeah, see, that was a negative. not that much. But with Amazon and Apple, for the most part, they took me all the way up to, in this account, about not quite 2%, but 1.7, 1.8 maybe percent in a week, which is pretty crazy. Now, of course, it would have been a lot more if I just held nothing but Apple stock, but that's too risky. Very too risky for me. Anyway, so Amazon, right? I don't have any more shares through Robinhood, and I don't really want to show Vanguard, but my Vanguard is all Amazon right now, and I made about 200 between $200 and $300. Well, I guess you can tell from here, right? Yeah, there we go. It's about $200. Quite a bit of money. Other than that, though, even though I do have some stocks here, for the most part, I bought these like 2 days ago, and I have noticed too that with I started using fractional shares. With fractional shares, you can just use dollar amounts and buy not the whole amount, but a fraction, a fraction of the stock, and I don't know why, but I feel like I do better with it because you just put the dollar amount, right? You're focused on dollars, not shares. And I at least tend to not buy as much or too much too early, and tend to do better. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because I haven't used them before, and I'll keep on looking into that because if fractional shares do make me more money, I'm definitely sticking with it because I mean that's the end game, right? Making more money. Besides my winners, I did get some losers though. So let's see, TSM. I've been losing some money on it. I do think it's a strong buy for me. So if you don't know, TSM is a semiconductor manufacturer. Yeah, these jokes don't get any better. Anyway, so they make chips. They make CPUs for computers. Most notably, they make CPUs for iPhones, and more importantly, they're going to be probably making the CPUs for Apple's Mac computers because they announced about a month or two ago that they're going to be switching from Intel to their own custom ARM design chips, and this company will probably be the one making them. And so a couple things that are huge about this, right? So if Apple is the one designing the chips, and for the most part we've been seeing consistent doubling, or if not just a decent amount of noticeable amount of improvements from their CPUs within 2 generations, I can see consumers buying Macs more often because they can Apple will be able to produce more more incentive to upgrade because their CPUs should be getting noticeably faster within 2 generations, and since they're making the chips, their stock obviously will go up, right? The other thing is, well, it's Apple, right? I mean, even if the Mac chips don't do that well, they still have the iPhone, which everyone's still buying an iPhone, everyone's still buying an iPad, everyone's still buying an Apple Watch. It's just a good company to get in on. And let's see, it has had a lot of gain, and that's what I'm worried about right now. But I don't know. I think it could go to 100 by, if not the end of the year, definitely within a year. Definitely. Let's see. I think that's about it, though. I didn't lose that much money that I remember. It just kind of evened out. Yeah, that's about it. See ya.